Hello, my name's Jeff Stein, otherwise
Okay.
known as Jesus Christ Jeffrey.
You're gonna have to talk louder than that.
Hello, my name is Jesus Christ Jeffrey. No, my name is Jeff Stein. I get confused sometimes. My books were all labeled Jesus Christ Jeffrey in the beginning, in the middle, in the end, and the last one. However, I've been floundering in the world of digital print, and I think it's time that I go into the next medium and mode. But before we go too far, I want to introduce my assistant and helper. He is in charge of production, publishing, and whatever I want, right? Mr. Chicken?
That's right.
You think we can sell this on YouTube?
Hell yeah, we can.
It's hell yes in Nebraska.
Hell yes.
Okay. I feel better now. Oh, my stories are about being stupid. Now, it's not really being stupid. It's just perhaps, bad luck, chaos theory. I'm into chaos, artificial intelligence, and all that kind of happy crap. But it's probably one of the stupidest ones is where I ran into the back of a parked pickup truck going 20 miles an hour. Now, just from my side of the story, that wasn't my fault. It was dark. I was coming home. There was parked cars on each side of the street, and from a side street, a car turned in. The lights were coming at me, and I swerved to the right. And bang, man, I didn't even have a chance to gasp. Well, this was so loud that people 3-4 houses came out of down the street, came out and said, "What was that?" Well, I was up and standing, and I kind of hobbled over to the side and walked my bicycle down the street until I found the house where the guy's truck was at. Happened to be a guy named Cole Dakota Brown. Cool name. A nice kid. So, anyways, I went up there. They were standing in their doorway, and I went up and I said, "Hey guys, I'm sorry about your truck. This is all me. It's my fault. I'll be happy to pay for all the damages. Here's my card." And thank goodness, the only thing I had on me were my business cards for when I ran for the United States Senate in Nebraska. And so I gave him my name and address and all the information I had, and I said, "I'll be back tomorrow, and you find out how much damage I did, and I'll pay you." So we had it all settled. I was trying to act my bravest, even though I was bent and broke. I think I broke my sternum that time. I couldn't even lift my hands above my waist. So anyways, as I was getting ready to leave, all of a sudden I see all these lights coming and flashing, and there was like an ambulance, 2 fire trucks, and 2 police cars heading up the street, up the hill. Well, I told the guys, well, I really don't want to be here for this. I think I'm just going to head on home, and I'll be back tomorrow. So I started stumbling and wobbling home with my bicycle up on its back wheel, pushing it with the bent frame on it. So I'm slowly shuffling down the hill, and all of a sudden I see the police car comes up with the lights blinking and flashing and what they do. And the guy pulls up and rolls down his window, and he says, "Hey, what you doing?" I said, "I was just going home, sir." He says, "Well, why don't you come back up here and we'll kind of sort this out?" I said, "Yes, sir." So I turned around, and now I had to walk back up this hill with my bicycle on its rear tire and pushing it up there, trying to pretend like, I wasn't hurt or anything. And I get up there, and everybody's standing around looking at me going, "Wow." I put a dent in the back of this Ford pickup truck that makes it look like a V-neck on the goose thing, man. And this wasn't an aluminum job. This was like real metal, and it just poosh. Well, as I'm sitting there trying to do my best, this one cop, he kind of comes in and he starts sniffing. He goes, "You been drinking?" "Well, you can't lie to these guys." And I said, "Yes, sir." I said, I was over I was watching the Buffalo Boys. A friend of mine has a band, and they were playing that night. And I had a beer or 2. Who counts after that? And so I knew I was I was on the edge. He comes in, and just then this buddy that had the card from these kids that I gave him, he looks up and he says, "Did you really run for the United States Senate?" I said, "Yes, sir, I did." I said, "I got 6,354 votes. Only missed the nomination by 70,000. Now everybody is kind of standing there going, "Huh? Really? Huh? Yeah." And the guy says, "Okay, well, we'll fill out the police report, and you can be on your way. So they filled everything out. While they were doing it, I was trying to bend back a carbon frame, which doesn't work, by the way. And I'm sitting there like this, and finally the guy comes up and he says, well, okay, everything's cool, you can go now. And just as I'm getting ready to, walk manly home so that they wouldn't know how hurt I really was, this ambulance guy comes up and he says, hey, would you like to get in the back of the ambulance and have us check you out? I said, no, sir. I said, I'll just lick my asshole on the way home and get the bad taste out of my mouth. Well, he didn't really know what to say at that. And he says, well, you take care now. And I said, yes, sir. So I walked down the hill, got behind this little shopping mall, and they had a dumpster. Well, the bike I'm looking at, I'm going, there's no way I can fix this thing. This is just garbage. So I was next to the garbage can, and I couldn't even lift this light bike up and throw it in the garbage. So I just put it against the wall, and then I start walking home. And now it was a painful walk, let me tell you. That was almost as painful as when I broke my nose over there on the, oh, that's another story. But that wasn't my fault either. But so I'm walking home and I'm getting almost there, and then Diane calls and says, where are you? And I said, oh, I'm coming home. I had a little bit of a mishap. And she said, as she always does, oh, I'll come get you. And I said, oh, no, I'll be okay. And so I got home, and everybody's kind of looking at me, and I'm going, yeah, here's what happened. And I explained my side of the story, how it wasn't my fault and all. And Diane wasn't having any of it, but I was, I couldn't even make it up the stairs. I was in the basement. I laid down on the couch, and I just laid there trying to, recoup and go, man, I'm really hurt. And I'm sitting there, and then I don't know how long it was, but I wake up and I'm in a cold sweat, man. I mean, it's just pouring off me, and I couldn't even get up because I couldn't push my arms to even get up. So I had to roll off the couch onto the floor, and then I'm crawling for the bathroom, and I'm sweating BBs. I mean, it's dripping on the floor, and I'm gonna go, oh man, I'm gonna poop myself too, because I've done this before. When the body goes in shock, it just tries to eliminate anything it can do. And as I'm crawling to the toilet, I'm thinking, man, I can't do this to Diane again. I was already, I died once in Japan, and she had to bring me back to life, and I thought, I can't call out for help on this thing. So I get to the toilet, I puke, I get up, I go number 2, I flush, and then I just sit there, and the sweat's coming down, and I'm going, man, this is not right. So then I said, well, okay, let's just see if we can't plop off this toilet and crawl back to the couch. So I plopped off the toilet, I crawled back to the couch, and thank goodness we didn't have to be at work the next day. I'm a ditch digger by trade in the field of irrigation. And I thought, okay, by noon, I have to be there at 1. If I leave at 11, it's usually an hour ride. Okay, I'll be okay. That'll work. So my bike's broke, so all I got is Diane's old Mama-san bike, the kind that they have in Japan and stuff. And it's a, old Yeller, and it's heavy and it's whatever. And so I get on that bad boy, and I'm thinking, okay, just get to work. Got to make some money. And I'm going up this hill, and I'm thinking it's downhill, turn right, and then a little hump up, and then I'm at the Buffaloes, and I'll go to work. Top of this hill, I'm coasting down on the Mama-san bike, and all of a sudden I see an orange flash out of the right side of my eye. Now you gotta understand, I got a broke sternum, and God knows what was going on with my neck. And all of a sudden this golden retriever comes out of the side, clips me on the side, takes me out, and I'm skidding down the road again. I'm going, Jesus Christ, now you know how I got my name. Jesus Christ, Jeffrey, you gotta, this has just been a bad day, couple of days. And so I pick myself up, and this kid that had been walking his dog comes running out, and he goes, oh God, he says, are you okay? And I said, it's okay. He said, I'm a dog lover. I understand these things. It's no problem. He goes, man, I'm glad you're not a car. Well, right then I thought, well, I'd like to go get my car and move, we'll try this again. But he was nice enough, and so I went on the way to work. And so when I got there, then I did confess to Buff that I had, broken my sternum, even though I worked half a day before, and he never even noticed. So we get through the day. It was another painful day. But it was a rain day the next day, so I'm thinking, wow, that gives me a whole day to sit back and, kind of heal up, if you will. So I had that whole day, and then the next day we had a half day. So I'm going, okay, I got to take the mama-san again, and I'm going to be looking out for any orange flashes. So I'm going up the hill to go to Q Street and turn left. And as I'm going down the sidewalk, I always ride on sidewalks most times, other than that other time where I hit that truck. And as I'm going, I see an Indian coming down the sidewalk from the apartments. And red dot, not Indian. I have both of them in my heritage, so it's not a matter of prejudice, it's a matter of pride. And this Indian sees me, and he steps off the sidewalk. Now, as a bike rider, socially conscious one, I know the sidewalks are for people. So I decide, well, I'll just pull off the side like I do on my mountain bike, and it's okay. Well, I have this, this Mama-san bike, and it just so happened that they had just torn up a drainage ditch right there. And as I popped off, I hit this hole. It flopped me out towards the street, and now I still got the broke sternum. So, this is all in a flash of a moment. I look up the street, I see cars coming, but they're up the hill, so I can either try to brake myself with my hand or I can take the roll. So I take the roll, I go out into the street, and then I scramble back over, and that Indian fellow was right there with a hand up, and I shook his hand. I said, hey, thanks for stopping. The first car in line that was coming down the hill, it stopped and kind of looked at me like, you okay? Yeah, I waved him on, and the next car, wouldn't you know, it was a police car. The policeman, he pulls up alongside in the road, and he rolls down the window, and he says, are you okay? And I said, just a little embarrassed, sir. And he smiled and went on his way. So that was the end of that 4-day ordeal. And I've healed up pretty good. You can tell how it's done my hair's wonder. So that's one of the stories, and that's probably not the stupidest one, but I'll work on that. Stupidest a real word?